Ooh, welcome back to Patinator Plays Ash of the Gods. Alright, the coffee's finally hitting the bloodstream. Recorded immediately after the last one where the dogs were all over the place. We're gonna talk to Roar, who we haven't put into a fight in a while. Probably should put him in a fight in a while. And that sniffle indicates that he's probably high on the cocaine. Roar seems tipsy, but you're certain he hasn't had any alcohol. He mumbles something in Palian. And smirks. But his expression doesn't fit his troubled gaze. I think, yeah, I adjusted the gain of the mic even a bit more, and I tested it. Seems like it's okay. Did you find something out? Where should we go now? I don't know why, but he reminds me of Captain Kirk. Like Shatner, Captain Kirk. Maybe it's the pose, maybe it's the angle to the side indicating that he's an asshole. But he's not an asshole. I actually quite like him, even though his mentality is a bit fucked up. This woman is one of a kind. I'd have thought a queen had come out of that house to greet us, if were it not for her tattered dress. Her dress was not tattered. She seems unapproachable. Were you thinking of approaching her? You always expect wine from an uncorked barrel to be sweeter when you open cask, but oh my god, I clicked and I couldn't read the rest. I didn't click this. I clicked on the screen because I was checking whether we were recording or not, and then it's just like, oh, we're done here. Skip. I didn't want to skip. There's no log. It's a visual novel with tactics. Where's the log? This is what I can't grasp. She's probably wise and likely still deaf, but what is her power? Have you heard of the Palian enchanters? Not the Vandal shamans, or the Frisian sorcerers meddling with graveyard flesh, or the Berkanan witches, but the Palian enchanters. The ones that record legends of the anime heights, the ones that can make warriors fearless, the ones that can howl louder than the wind of the storm. This makes the most sense. Because he talked a bit about fear before, so it's probably howling louder than the wind of a storm. Nobody can howl louder than the wind during a storm. That's ridiculous. You shouldn't scream, you should pray and do it silently. For gods hear howling hearts, not voices. Fair enough, I've been enlightened. Amma seems like a very powerful enchantress. One glance was enough to make me feel weak, like a Palian rat. If she hounds me on, however, I'll transform into a raging beast. You wouldn't understand. What, that you're kind of a rapey? I suppose so. What do you know about Opacum? It's a large enchanted fortress. So sorcerers feel nauseous in its proximity and it heats certain amulets. Legend says it's never been taken, yet every ship eventually sinks. You think it's time? What do I know about time? I do sense about something brewing in the air. Rats always flee a sinking ship first, but that's not true to Palians. Do you know why? Because their instincts are even better. Palians flee ahead of the rats. I like you, Roar, even though you're kind of rapey. It's a concern, to be sure, but I like you. I like your sayings. Also, when did we get 10,000 gold? Rita's as quiet as a mouse. Why is she so scared? Kama is rooted to the spot. You wonder why the Lady of these Ruins is so mesmerizing to him. Because he's like him. She's like him, rather. You approach Kama. He leans against a stone post, looking much like a post himself. His mask must be rooted to his face. Sometimes this game, she knows people like me. She came by and spoke to me, said I can remove my mask to become inconspicuous. She spoke my language, not like Reed, but the way we speak in my world. This woman's from there too. You're picking up on it. Does it worry you? I won't last long. It's what Reed said, but I feel it inside too, like a log tossed onto the fire. I felt it most acutely the moment I laid eyes on Amma. The fuck? Will you take off your mask? No, without it I'd feel defenseless. Listen, there's another matter. There's something like a menhir nearby, something similarly powerful. Is it something hidden in her hovel? No, it's something Amma was wearing. It could be Amma herself. It's the knife. Be careful, Icon. If I'm right, she's stronger than you are. Umbra aren't human. Umbras, not Kimras. Umbras. That's the one. I'm getting it together. Where I come from, they're akin to terrible demons. They serve the gods. One of them, at least. The crazier he was, the more terrible his servants became. Only now do I understand this. Tell me everything you know, even if you only have a few words to describe it. How many Umbra servants are there? According to Reed, 12 lower Umbra perished at Drowsy Deep 700 years ago. There were originally 25. 5 high Umbra and 20 lower Umbra. A set of 4 for each of the Almighty. 25 divided by 4 is 5. There you go. Wait, 25 can't be divided by 4. That's 20. Okay, 20 lower Umbra for each of the Almighty. So 4 for each high Umbra. 5 high Umbra and 8 lower Umbra still live. Ven. Lower Umbra are called Kuros, or runaways. We were taught to kill them, but haven't killed any yet. Very few manage it. Not to mention the fact that you can't hide from the High Umbra. Who are the Reapers? Well, the Reapers are from space. They also are led by a Star Child. Don't go to the Citadel. I like you. High Umbra, who have absorbed the spirit of their divinity. Since nobody controls them, they become Reapers and gorge themselves into Menhir's power. I can't guarantee any of the Umbra won't become Reapers. I can list the High Umbra's names: Dorpkal, Atrak, Adna, Childau, and the greatest of them, TB Bar. He has the face of an old man and the body of a huge athlete. He's a walking cauldron of hatred. I'm sure I'm gonna kill him. Especially if we exchange of souls him. We can just exchange of souls him. What can you tell me about the gods in your world? Almost nothing. There were 5 of them. Talking about them in vain was punishable by death. I've killed for that myself. One thing's for certain. 4 of the 5 tried to save my world. Don't ask me for details. My knowledge is like the echo of good tidings would cling to your face like spider webs. Or like a drowning child's cry. I can't be sure of anything. I'm pretty sure that like something clinging to your face like spider webs, okay, it disgusts him, it scares him. I think that's the metaphor here. And the last question for now. Why is it that the Menhirs, the Umbra, and Enzis are the only remnants of your world? I feel like the Menhirs are like kryptonite, like shards of their old world. It doesn't weaken them, it just makes them hungry this time. They aren't the only remnants, Icon. Somewhere in the depths of Terminum, there is an ark full of my kin waiting to be rescued. It's possible that I was suspended within it all these years. It's also possible that the reaping is meant to purge this world for a rule. Okay, so now we're Pacific Rim. 1, 2 kind of fucked it up. Are you prepared to kill me to lower this risk? I have more important things to do right now. The answer, then, is no. Reet. My name is Reet. Why do you withdraw? Does something about this woman frighten you? She's odd. Not threatening. Mm-hmm. You don't understand. She's different. Someone like Arkan. Someone who's capable of superhuman deeds. I think you'll see soon enough. I sense a darkness in her that Arkan lacked. So far, I understand one thing. We're in the mountains. I like this one. I like that. I like that. I don't get a lot. I get that. It's pretty cold here. What kind of deeds? I mean, someone like Arkan. I'm gonna go with someone like Arkan. I suspect she's an Umbra. Correct. They can be killed just like the Reapers, but many years go by and you can run into the one you've killed. They're very rare, but they exist. Tell me what trouble. You seem more powerful than Hopper, although Hopper is a fucking beast, is more well-rounded. He can probably outlast you just by running around for a bit. I'm going straight for your fucking. And yeah, he can hurt the entire team just by winking. What could happen if Amma says something to make me accompany her? I had a feeling she saw our deaths. There was no mercy in her eyes, no hope. The good news is I could be wrong. I'm no serious myself. Thanks for that, man. Thanks for making me worried. I'm gonna go talk to Amma before you talk more. I mean, I understand when people shouldn't be on screen, but it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like what did I click now? Explain yourself before we leave, Amma. Are you sure that I'll escort you? Do you remember the words carved into the wall of the Serpent's Temple many years ago? Let me remind you. There is no death as long as your spirit is incorruptible. In practical terms, untrue. The temple is hundreds of years old. Have you forgotten the generations? Dick answer. No, this is the Dick answer. Like, it's long and so shitty. This doesn't seem to have any connection to what she said. So I'm gonna go with you could have read about it in the ancient manuscripts. No, all the maxims of the great ancestress are carved in stone. None can be removed from the temple except one. What wisdom are you talking about? The one that's whispered into the neophyte's ears during initiation. The warrior of peace should have been told, live and wait for the summon. Now I summon you, Icon. There's not another warrior of peace in the whole of Terminum, is there? Who are you, Amma? Why do you look so familiar? She is the progenitor. I've been told that my image is carved into the column to the right of the temple altar. I thought the sculptor cared about a true likeness, but I heard they annually refresh the white paint for the hair. I am the great ancestress. Now we set out, Icon. So, she's the super trainer that trained the Kimra. Because the Kimra also have... a great ancestress that trained them. She's also the leader that made this guy, that made the Shadow Clan. I guess she was feeling particularly edgy and she must have done it as a teen. And she's also the one who trained, by extension, also trained the twins that betrayed us. Aw, twins, Basil. Twins. And one more thing, Warrior. Don't fret over Strixus while you're traveling with me. You don't personally have to rely on them in any case. Or are you saving them for someone else? Protect Reet if you can. Trust me, without her, your life isn't worth anything.
You are like a blade in a worn-out scabbard. What can you do if rust melds you together?
Hey, Sherlock. You're gonna be like this all week, aren't you? For the next 2 weeks, probably. This is going to be a hassle couple with a burden. Oh, we're here. Straight to Frigga we go. Do we have levels? Yeah, we always have levels. I mean, without the curse, he's probably gonna be a fucking beast. How did we... Did we level this up? Oh yeah, we did level this up. Mental Blast, Quick Strike. Holy shit, energy by 12? No mind if I do. Increasing the damage in Circular Blade lets us start sweeping boards, so that feels like a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna buff up Circular Blade. Alright, Berry Path. Warden's Mansion, Hyborg. Let's go to Hyborg. Wait, weren't we just here? Scar Tower. Man, we have traveled a long fucking way. Nothing in the mountains but drawings. You know what? I'm gonna go down the most difficult path to see what happens. Hyborg. Hyborg, Serpent Tower, Shaman's Tower. We're just gonna go through all the bad shit. Also, I think that's how the army progressed, because they used to be at Serpent Tower. To Frigga. Wow, nothing happened. Holy shit. I guess since the warpath is done, like, everything's okay now. You feel the reaping growing stronger. I'll give in. 57 is probably fine. An agitated guard runs up to you as you ride by the tower. He recognizes Ake and tells him that their captain is bitten by a snake. He says if Ake knows a good healer nearby, it's high time to spill the beans. Much to your surprise, the giant doesn't mention you. I know this guard. Name's Dorian, and the captain is Sans, an exceptional scoundrel. Got his title thanks to Brandvikti. Screw him, huh? Then direct with scum it is. I'm gonna go follow Dorian. Just to make sure that we don't miss anything. You nod to Dorian and he leads you to the captain. He's already delirious. The bite has left a dark mark in his swollen leg. You still got time but need to decide quickly. The nearby forest is home to his special healing herbs. The captain would recover much faster if you found some. Using an antidote or magic are viable options too, but you'd be wasting your resources in a scoundrel. However, without such measure, a snakebite will... I'll give him the antidote. You've saved an antidote in your saddlebag for a rainy day. You'd hate to waste it on such a scoundrel, but neither can you let an important hint vanish without a trace. Your blackened hand stings lightly as Sans comes to. Seems like the captain has potential for sorcery. He's probably unaware, but even subconscious potential is dangerous. Sans looks pretty bland, but he can talk. Sputtering, he explains that he went behind the tower to relieve himself and met an old hag there. As he shooed her away, she turned to him, uttering the word Lon. Sans says he used to know a guy named Lon, a guard commander of Prince Haderlig's escort, but the old woman couldn't possibly mean him. As the captain rambles on, you realize this was the hint you sought. He thinks he's still too weak and it's your duty to nurse him back to health. You do not share his view. I'm out of here. You get into the cell besieged by Sans curses. There's a chill in your black hat. That son of a bitch. Well, now we're at 61%, so let's check out our stats. That's actually not so bad still. 11 attack is still higher than most characters. But that also means we're at basic. We could have stayed a few days, but I think we might have lost the lead there if we had just stayed around. So I want to get to Frigga. Frigga's kind of fucked. Also, is it raining? Is that like a sound effect from the game? That's interesting. You begin to think that the reaping is turning all of Terminum into the ashen wasteland. Reality has become unsteady and nightmares seem to be clearer. You feel like you're standing near the triple men here again. No signs of a fight remain, but it ends as you killed here. Stand once in front of you again. I'm gonna join the fight. Because this can affect the curse, I think. And we have the ability to murder them all, in theory. We just have to stay away from their attacks, run around, and just start using our sweeping blows. If we can get started with a nice circular hit, that would be nice too. That's a nice circular hit if we can make it. Fireblade, mental blast. This is fine. We can't make it there. But I am gonna mental blast and then. This guy, do we have beam dude? We don't have beam dude. We just have stabby boys. So mental blast. And super sweeping attack. But first let's look for our position. Here's not good. So this is safe because this is a 2-square attack. We should just stay back, I think. Fireblade. You can try to hurt me, but you won't. Holy shit, mental blast every turn. Did we kill him? I wish this game would tell me what I'm hitting. Yeah, they can reach us with this. I mean, maybe he can card us all, but that's okay. I want first strike, which is why I'm moving this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 4. So this is safe. We're just hitting the same guy over and over again for... This is fine. Totally fine. Just keep walking. If we don't have to engage directly, we shouldn't. Still a little too weak. Fire. I also can't cast that again, I think. Huh? Oh, I forgot to mental blast. That's okay. Oh, because we killed something. This gives us energy? So we have 12 energy, which means we can spend it. Okay, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Unsafe one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, this is okay. I kind of want Devouring Blade the guy. But it eats up our energy. It's actually not that good an idea. So we're just gonna hang back here and just spam the shit out of our Fireblade. Mental Explosion. We don't have to do anything. We can just walk around in circles. That's what you do when you have range. I feel like this should get nerfed. Like, this is making this encounter and the choice to whether or not let the curse go or not is making it very easy. Die. Yeah, I'm gonna make this cheaper. I think that's the correct call. Since they're all about to die with Fireblade. Oh my god. You're a beast, man. You kill the last ends, the enchanted dream begins to dissolve. In a few heartbeats, it's gone completely. Please reduce my curse. Well, we didn't get a level, but that's fair. He's level 16. That is tremendous level. He can't stop being strong. Our curse has not been reduced. Like that, nothing happened there. Straight down to Gabon Road, please. We also didn't gain a level. Well, apparently nothing's happening here, which is fine, because everything here is dead. Shit. Yeah, okay. I think that's as far as I'm willing to go. Then we have to give in. I'm not comfortable with the status of the rest of our team. I think the rest of
road to the
the
west of Frigga
the other
is full
parties
of
are strong enough now.
refugees and retreating troops. People are being driven from the ancient fort by the war and the reaping. And while you can run from war, the reaping will claim anyone.
Oh, we're in Act 2 now.
The pyre is burning. The crows are circling the place, and it seems as though all hope is lost.
There might have been a feast.
You don't even know why you need to visit the abandoned Frigga. Do you hope to uncover another piece of this treacherous puzzle?
Yes.
Or maybe you hope to catch up to Thornbrennan's daughter and figure out the source of her power.
Well, you ignored Fern fucking Brennan and then didn't go with him, so whose fucking fault is that?
The blackness possessing your arm is slowly creeping up. The curse crawls its way to your heart, making your journey into a race with death itself. Thankfully, you managed to leave it in the dust. For now.
For now. Your squad nears Frigga's Gate. The last defenders abandoned the white stone fortress. Somewhere ahead are Thornbrennan and his daughter. How could she resist the Reaper? The question weighs on her mind. The gate is wide open. No guards in sight. No archers or watchmen in the tower. Not to mention a toll collector. What? Not even a toll collector. The town is empty. Yeah, because not to mention the toll collector is... Oh my god. That's not right. The town is empty. The oldest fort of Rakana abandoned. What's there to do in an empty fort? Where did he go? We just defended this place. Rask fidgets restlessly in the saddle. He had a small shop in Frigga too. He sold it long ago, but the memories still haunt him. He touches the wall as he rides by. You find this kind of sentimentism silly. You feel a sudden burst of unbearable pain. You turn to Rask and watch as he grows pale and wipes the sweat from his brow, his hands shaking. He clearly shares your anguish, which means you were right all along. One of your companions has lost his mortal coil. One of the few Umbra remaining in the world. Somebody died. Are we all Umbra? Is that why? What's his name? It was Mac. Was the kid an Umbra? Was Mac an Umbra? Are we all Umbra? Damn, it got me good. Don't say a word. I felt it, but it was kind of muddy. I guess some sorcery got in the way. So in reality, it could have happened yesterday. It just good today or 2 days ago. We'll talk about it later. We're all Umbra, aren't we? That's like the twist here. There are no defenders, and yet everybody's here apparently. Way to go, consistency. No, fuck. I thought that was camp. I thought that was fucking camp. I thought we were in camp. No. Is there any way I can go back? Go back, you fuck. No. Well, that's gonna be costly. Shit. I mean, we skipped a bunch of conversations, which I don't feel necessarily bad about. Bear in, please. No. Oh well. I guess we're missing a piece of the story now. Ake grumbles, spotting an inn covered, surrounded by a palisade. Maybe we should ditch that inn, huh? Get some shut-eye in the forest. Wouldn't be a first. I heard the owner is a crazy Gabonin. He's all buddy-buddy with the witches and talks to bears. Rask interrupts the giant. Bollocks, all of us. Bastich isn't crazy. Wow. I guess they're getting bored of the names too. His bear is tame. It's like an old family tradition of his. They love animals. He started all the rumors that bandits will keep clear of the inn. Well, he looks like a Bastich. The inn's owner greets you beside the gate. He's got a gloomy countenance, but he tries his best to be hospitable. After some talk, you learn the reason behind his sour mood. His bear is ill, and the usual potions aren't helping at all. You remember the clue about following those who consort? The game is acting like we had those conversations. This cost us nothing. Quite obviously it's Bastich, but how can you help? You're no expert in healing animals, although they're not much different from humans. These the potions the horse doctors use are quite similar. I'll use the spell. Can't do... Try looking for herbs? Having discussed all the peculiarities of treating bears with Bastich, you go looking for the suitable herbs. Having wasted a whole day, you're surprised to find your blackened head feels somewhat better. Having concocted the potion, you give it to Bastich. Thankfully, the potion helps. His spirit lifted. The owner offers you a free stay and drinks on the house. Stay but don't drink. You refuse to drink, but your companions eagerly pitch in, gulping down beer as if it's their final bender. On the second day, you lose your temper and stop the drinking spree, driving everybody back into their saddles with much cursing. Sick from all the booze, Bastich doesn't even make an effort to come out and say goodbye. You look for the owner to offer some help, but find him sleeping on the floor, arms around a chair. As you walk outside the house, you catch Bastich talking to sleep. Must not forget to tell him. Read what's etched into the stone by the water, especially if they make you an offer. Okay. Oh, this is blocked. Okay, that's fine. Oh, shit. I at least wanted to check in with Lon. Resist. 64 is a bit high. Let Turbinum crumble. And I think we can still, like, tactically win fights. But... I mean, the tactical side of the game is getting a little easier, so maybe this is fine. An odd wariness washes over you. Has it accumulated so much that it's reached a point where it overflows? You pull the glove off your blackened hand and look at it closely. You would not be surprised if it started turning into ashes or started smoldering. Mushroom yawns fiercely. Damn, Hopper. Did you lace our food with sleeping draught? I don't understand. Could it be the forest? I'm falling asleep sitting upright. Listen, Hopper. I'm a bit tired. If we don't take a break within the hour, I'm afraid I'll fall off my horse. You call out Rask. He yawns and rubs his eyes, but he doesn't look like he's about to fall off his horse. You ask him, is this sorcery, Sherlin? Or fresh sap in some sleeping grass? Since my hand turned black, I'll have trouble reading another person's charms. Rask takes a slip from his flask and giggles. I've never been good at it, but why can't we set up camp and read protective enchantments about it? We can catch him in sleep, something I dreamt about. Hey. Can we stop in this clearing? Yeah, I'll take a short rest. This is dangerous. This is super dangerous, but we'll do it. Because it's clearly a trap. But maybe falling into this trap will let us beat the shit out of people and lower the curse power. You're right, Sherlin. I'm tired too. Let's stop here. Sorcery may have driven Gels, Vandals, and other local tribes to Stormfrigga, but it won't make us lift a finger. That's one thing I'm sure about. Rask drinks from his flask again. With you by my side, I don't have to worry about sorcery. Sometimes I tell myself, where's my old pal Blance? I really want to have a nice long sleep. Ake suddenly shakes his head. Riddle me this, Hopper. Why do you call Rask Sherlin, and why does he call you Blance? Blanke? Blank? I feel like it's blank. Are there codenames or something? As for me, I've always been Ake. Nothing to give or take, and I'll remain Ake till I die. Rask laughs so hard he almost falls off his saddle. My dear Ake, names are like clothes. Eventually you get tired of them and want something new. Would you mind if I take your name when you die? I quite like it. Ake. It has a ring to it. Ake's face breaks into a crooked smile. Well, that's too bad. What if I outlive you? Should I call myself Sherlinvin or Rask? I'm afraid my commander won't understand. You dismount and take a look around as you feed your trustworthy steed. Spring leaves rustle overhead. Grasses echo underfoot. And where did this dream come from? I mean, will you really be able to have some rest? Where did this dream come from? Why have you begun to call Rask by his real name? What's gnawing you? The silence is unnerving. Is that Ake? You know that you're asleep. You can't move no matter how hard you try. It feels as if your entire body is part of the roots, tying you to the ground. You feel a sudden chill and open your eyes. Your companions are also immobilized. They look like melting wax effigies. Only Rask's beard sticks up stubbornly, and his gentle snoring wafts to the green vault of the forest. On a sunken log, you see a familiar figure. Nakoma. Come, sit. But don't you dare run. To be sure, you're not your friend Amma, but you're a fast son of a bitch nonetheless. I'm tired of sorting out this mess. This past month, I've lost my body twice. An entire month restoring my former appearance. You do know this. Do you? Don't you? How did you manage to bind me with your spells? They've never had power over me. But wait, the magic of the grass. How can it be? How long have you been sleeping here? More than a day? You guessed right. Adna helped me. She yielded part of her abilities to me. For a while. In any case, that's not the reason I'm here. I want to offer you a deal in terms you'll find favorable. Do you want to learn the secret of this reaping? Do you want to know why mortals resisted a reaper? It's a truck. I will never serve you a truck. I don't believe a single word you say. What's the point in asking you then? How can you make pacts with someone you don't trust? What are you setting up? Do you plan to destroy the world like you destroyed the last one? You're putting the carriage before the horse. Fulfill your part of the bargain first and you'll have your full explanation. In case you want to back out, no, you won't be able to. Just like your unfortunate friend here. You're fixed to your body too firmly. What in the shit? A sprout pierces your hand, painting it with blood. Nakoma gets to his feet and changes his appearance, then sends a root hurling at Rask. It turns into a wooden dagger mid-flight and pierces your friend's chest. He arrives in fatal agony. You always have the metal, or reproduce uncontrollably like your friend Quabath. He's also wandering somewhere and will meet the same end. You'll see, he'll make it all the way to Opakum in an attempt to save his progeny. He is now Heiderleg's best warrior, poor sod. So Quarbaf is foreign? And he doesn't remember? That feels like the implication here. A different Umbra, even someone like Shilleran, is exhilarating. Before you die, listen to me. I'm not asking you to betray anyone, though you've already betrayed Shirlin. I'm not even asking you to kill scurvy mortals. All you have to do is be an eyewitness. Watch and record. Adna's root, still sleek with Rask's blood, is in the Reaper's hands again. You try to dodge it, but it presses to your chest, almost piercing it. You scream in pain. What do you want from me, Atrak? Not much. Go to Apocalypse and do what you were meant to do. Look around, commit what you see to memory and writing. That's all. But gods will reward you, not only they. I'll personally see to it that you meet your heart's desire in Apocalypse. I agree, but wait, who am I supposed to be in Apocalypse? What's heart desire are you talking about? Atrak does not reply. As his silhouette dissolves into thin air, as the slough of grass swallows up, Sherlin's hollow carcass and Ake comes to his senses. You wonder whether you'd become a slave again, or not yet. Why didn't you feel your friend's death? Could Atrak have taken Rask's spirit? Why would he? And why was Quarbaf's name mentioned? You ponder all of this later. You have to carry on with your journey now. You have to think of a way to explain Rask's disappearance. I guess we won't be having that discussion. I did get a skill point. Ugh. Attack is so low now. Is there anything that jacks up our attack? We have jacks up our energy. I think that's okay. That was confusing. And terrifying. We're gonna go to the waterman here and probably call it a day. It's like 32 minutes already. Given. We'll be fine. On the outskirts of a roadside village, you spot a menhir-like stone pillar. Many of these obelisks were erected in ancient times by villagers hoping to attract the gods' grace to their settlements. The sick had already begun pilgrimages to the menhirs for healing, and the Temple of Divine Retribution wasn't yet nearly as powerful. In remembrance, you press 3 fingers to your brow, then your lips, then your heart. Ake stares at you wide-eyed. What's all that pointing? The 3 corners? The zigzag? Is that the sign of the triune? I've seen that gesture somewhere, but can't remember for the life of me. Maybe a Vendel worshipping his idol, or a guard at a menhir. What does it mean? Temple servants usually just bury their faces in hands and grope at the nearest wall. Try to explain. Now, if a triune doesn't have a special sign, some call it 3 corners or a zigzag, and others don't bother with a name, and simply press 3 fingers, symbolizing the most senior, triple menhir. First to the forehead, then to the lips, then to the heart. It means I remember, I praise, I love, or I think, I preserve, I keep, whichever you prefer. Ake shakes his head in frustration. Don't muddy the waters. Who do you remember, praise, and love? What do you mean? What do you think about, preserve, and keep? What in blazes does it all mean? You sound like a temple overseer, Ake, looking for heresy everywhere. Once upon a time, this was simply a greeting used by the heralds who descended into this world's realm with divine retribution. His name was Mikef. He and the other heralds went from village to village, giving hope to survivors of the retribution. He also said that any stone can be a menhir if you seek grace within. I see, says Ake, but what use is this grace? A pole is a pole, a menhir is a menhir. It's all worth thinking about. But I'm afraid so many thoughts would crack my skull. At least we're here. Reaping is not so fucked up yet, but I'm very concerned about his health here. I feel like we missed the opportunity for a lot of skill points there, and that's going to cost us a little bit. You approach the camping ground hunters consider the best in this part of the forest to rest in. Few of them suspect that the exhilaration and strength that filled them here, and sometimes heal their wounds, do not come from any lake water, for from the men here that serves as a bridge to a tiny island. They say it does not absorb poison even during the reaping. Here's your chance to put that claim to the test. You remember Lon's words, I never talked to Lon. The game is acting like I did. It even gave me random skill points, I think. So skipping doesn't... They're just like, well, I mean, I'm marginally thankful that they saved me from my own idiocy, but I'm also kind of annoyed that not talking to people costs you nothing. Mildly annoying. You remember Lon's words and tried to picture the witch who is enticing you with riddles and promises of lifting the curse, forcing you to wander over roads of Terminum. You miss Sherlin Rask, the only one among your kin you could consider a friend. Even then, he did not tell you what happened many years ago when he became permanently attached to his body and the Ashen Wasteland came to his being. Huge vandal pines give way to low fir trees. A waft of fresh air carries forth the scent of water. Seagulls glide overhead. There is a glint of water beyond the tree trunks. Yet the scent of reeds is laced with the smell of blood. The clearing looks like the scene of a recent battle. Here's the island. You get off your horse and bend to examine the ground. Ake whistles in appreciation of the expanse of the lake, the island within the ruins, the stones jutting out of the water, and the wall of forest on the opposite shore. Now that's something. I've never been here before, though I've heard about an island favored by hunters and fishermen alike. They probably trashed the place. What have you found on the ground there, Hopper? That's nothing. Let's set up camp on the island, shall we? Aka dismounts and shakes his head in disbelief. Apart from being a healer, a bookworm, and a sorcerer, you're a tracker now? I can't read the prints, but for some reason I don't see any blood, or bodies for that matter. You shrug. Just a matter of habit. The bodies could have been thrown into the river. If you search by the little dam where a river flows out from the lake, you'll probably find them. I wouldn't recommend drinking the water. Let's get off our horses. We'll take a break for a couple of hours and carry on. You hear no response, so you turn to see your companion sinking into the tall grass at the water's edge. Dull green blades entangle their feet and the legs of their horses who stand very still. Even before you turn to face the island again, you say, Don't kill them, Adna. You've done you no wrong. On the other side of the bridge, Adna smirks maliciously. I don't care for the scurvy mortals. I need you, Blank. Come here. Don't be afraid. You're rooted to the ground. Adna, the bane of the Vandil forest, the Umbra overseer and the killer of their offspring, has come to converse with you, or kill you, just like she killed children by Nakoma's hands, having charmed the poor fellow with her magic. What do you want, Adna? To send me where you sent Sherlin? Why did you do it? What are you plotting with Dorpka and Atroc? This is a reaping, Blank. Sometimes they happen. It's not my fault that Sherlin went to non-existence, but his own. He dabbled in ancient magic and got stuck in that body. As for Nakoma, he likes to have fun. I've lent my sword, but now I have it back. How are you going to use it against me? I haven't heard an answer yet. What do you want from me? Well, for starters, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. What kind of curse holds you by the hand? Who is the sorceress bewitching your path, and where are you headed? I don't know what the nature of this curse is. Yet it overpowers you, Black. Binds you to this body, making you mortal. It's also eating you, though it's linked to the reaping somehow. A curious reaping indeed. So it's not linked to the reaping, and it's not linked to these guys, to the Umbra. I don't know anything about that. The curse is like a blindfold. I feel as if I'm wearing a leaden suit of armor that grows heavier with each step. What business of yours is it? Everything concerns me. The curse grows heavier because it absorbs the reaping, diminishing it. That's why I'm so interested. But you won't last that long. As for your blindness, we'll put it to the test soon enough. No Umbra can diminish the reaping, so I'm not holding my breath. As you can see, there's no point in killing me. I don't know who this sorceress is. There must be some connection between you two. Everything happens for a reason. I felt her behind Frigga's walls, but I could not come closer. She is too strong to be a simple witch. Too strong, even, for the one I initially taken her for. I don't know who you're referring to, but what did you want to ask her? Why someone is ruining your precious reaping? Who's interfering with your plans and saving people from insanity? I told you, I don't care about scurvy mortals. At least until I need them to suffer and die. The Switch, on the other hand, she cares. That stumps me. Even you don't give a damn about humans. Let me decide for myself who I give a damn about. I'm going to Apacum. Yeah, I've heard of it. Only pure place left in Burkana. So far, that is. You've already chosen the right path. It was an easy choice to make. There was no other path laid out before you, after all. You're plotting something too. Is Kuranzon on your side? Why are you gathering everyone at Apacum? What is wrong with this reaping? Answer me. We're all in the same boat, even if you beg to differ. Your opinion is of no consequence, even though I've been asking you for your opinion and thoughts this entire time. Don't forget your place. A servant of a servant. A vassal. An empty space. A messenger. A courier. A number. They'll never take my name. Have you become arrogant enough to consider yourself human? What are you saying? Deeming oneself a scurvy mortal is tantamount to arrogance to you. Yeah, that was what I was about to point out. Fine, in that case, I call myself a scurvy mortal. I have nothing else to tell you, Adna. I have something to tell you, Blank. I don't know who that witch is, but if the gods granted her power, it's them she serves. It follows that I should help her. That's why I've met you here. Do you know what you have to do? Read a certain phrase, something connected to death and restoration. Words carved for eternity, and supposed to carve into your hand. I do not heal others. Many people trust this stone and believe it to have healing powers, but there is a grave here with an inscribed tombstone. Perhaps it has something to do with death, and erasing the inscription is no small task. You'd have to crush the stone itself. What do you need me for then? You have the stone and the inscription. Read it and see for yourself if it's gibberish. I cannot read it, Blank. If I could, I wouldn't be waiting for you here. You who will go and read the inscription now. If you don't, someone close to you will die. You'll proceed to Apacum by all your lonesome. By the way, I have news of your Ama. Is she not your Ama anymore? Damn you, I'll read it. Look closer. You might be able to read it with me. It says, but you will not keep misfortune away. That's it. It's just a relief decoration reused as a grave marker. It ended up here by accident. That wasn't happenstance. Even otherwise, I'd be able to read it myself. But you will not keep misfortune away. There are many ways of going about it. One man's misfortune is another man's happiness. The witch is toying with you, Blank. Whatever you say. What else do you want from me? Can I go now? What were you going to say about Amma? You're looking for a squad led by someone called Thorn, aren't you? You may still catch him, even overtake him if you put your mind to it. I don't know why this witch drives you to Apacum, but I advise you make it to the fort. It'll be a sight to behold. Amma was here, but she left for Apacum because your fate will be decided there. Perchance your fate too, Blank. Amma is a seeress. Do you think she'd go to Apacum if something were threatening her? Her prophecies aren't set in stone. Curses, she vanished. No, she didn't. She's right there. Like, she's totally right there. Adna's spell dissipates, along with his caster. Your companions get to their feet, shaking off sudden drowsiness. Yawning, dejected about their weakness, they go to the water's edge and rinse their faces. They're frustrated by the senselessness of staying in this enchanted place any longer. You take one final look around in case Adna was hiding somewhere in the ruins. Not that she needs to, but I guess. Then you step onto the bridge, stoop down, and touch the menhir's wet edge. You feel a rush of exhilaration and strength, but your hand remains black. The water menhir cannot cure everything, but at least it contains no poison. Akimansis horrors and yells. I take it we're not resting here? It's a fine spot, but spooky. There's a ringing in my ears. Myself, never cared much for sorcery. Shall we get going? You're not in agreement. Looks like Ak is sensitive to magic. What are you sensitive to? The voice ringing in your ears? It's the voice of the High Umbra. You like least of all. Adna, the mistress of the forest and grasses, who can bend the will of any living creature. But not yours. You cannot see... Fucking Adna. She's just creeping behind you. Boo! I've got you now. I have a message for you from that witch. Find those loved by all, and you will know that was, and all that will be. All that could have been, and all that can be. That's all she said, which in turn I tell you, purely out of curiosity. The unknown entices me. After a pause, Adna continues. Now there is something I want you to relate to Quarboff, or whatever he's called now. Drewer, Drukit, or maybe some... Drukit? Drukit's a thing, huh? Interesting. Marginally. I'm sure he'll show up in Apacum. I destroyed many of his offspring, but now we will serve our purpose. Please bow to him. He's done a magnificent job spreading seeds infused with Umbra spirit. You rub your temples and shake your head when Aki looks at you quizzically. You nudge your horse. It does seem better to get away from this waterman here as soon as possible. Moreover, many roads lead to Opacum. Next chapter, I think. No, it's not. Well, we're almost there. But we're going to take a break for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, you can subscribe to the Dark Flip Cloud channel so you don't miss a thing. While waiting for the next episode, you can like the video, you can share it, you can leave a comment, you can do all those nice things and more, but you don't have to do anything I say. Not the boss of you who I am is Patinator, and I'll see you later.